Egypt, it is a holiday this Monday, and the nation's financial institutions are closed across the country. Striking state workers and bank staff forced officials to make Monday an unscheduled holiday, running into a public observance already set for Tuesday. Egypt's military dissolved parliament and suspended the constitution over the weekend.
Now, army sources say Egypt's military is preparing to ban meetings by labor unions, effectively forbidding strikes, and to warn that it will act against chaos and disorder. The military leadership seized control on Friday when Hosni Mubarak resigned as president. The military leadership says they will govern for 6 months or until presidential and parliamentary elections are held. Elections are scheduled for September. And now joining us via Skype for more of the latest news coming from Egypt is reporter Lauren Frayer. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Thank you.
First, maybe you could start off by telling us about the mood and the continuing events where you are in Cairo.
Well, we've seen a lot of labor strikes across Cairo today. Lawyers, policemen, bank tellers, ambulance drivers even. It seems in the new Egypt, everyone wants to assert their rights, and we're seeing unprecedented number of workers taking to the streets, especially for state enterprises, demanding better pay from their bosses. In fact, even at the hotel where journalists staying, we saw a small strike by the housekeeping staff demanding better pay and better rights from their employers. Now, Egypt's military is careful to try to prevent those strikes from really going out of control. They're concerned about the economy here, concerned about getting people back to work. And that's why, as you mentioned, the military is making moves to try to contain those strikes and get people back to work.
Now, obviously, it's just been a few days since Mubarak's resignation on Friday. Of course, you know, what started off as demonstrations of anger are now joyful celebrations all over the place. And I want to make reference to some pictures that you sent showing the reaction of some of the Egyptians there, embracing soldiers. They're hugging soldiers, taking pictures in tankers. They're even cleaning up Tahrir Square, showing, I guess, that they really want to, you know, present a good face for Egypt.
That's right. I would call it a real outpouring of citizenship and civic responsibility. After Mr. Mubarak's resignation on Friday night, of course, we had cheering, crying, festivities in the streets. One Egyptian man told me this is bigger than any football victory Egypt has ever seen. But since then, on Tahrir, we've seen an outpouring of citizenship, really. I talked to one 15-year-old girl who said her father wouldn't let her out of the house during the protests. But now that those are over, she came down to Tahrir with a broom in hand, ready to sweep up the streets and make her country better.
I mean, I can only imagine what you are seeing, you know, unfolding right before your eyes. And obviously, it's hard to interpret into words. But really, what are people saying is different now?
Well, as you can see with these labor strikes, people suddenly feel like they have a voice, and they never felt that they could be heard before. The question is how to manage that outpouring of emotion and outpouring of civic responsibility, get people back to work, get the economy going again, and channel that energy in a productive way to build the new Egypt.
And Lauren, I guess, you know, the million-dollar question, any sightings at all of Mr. Hosni Mubarak? There was an announcement made on his behalf by Mr. Suleiman, but we have not heard from him directly. Does anybody know specifically what's going on with him, his state of being?
We have not heard from Mr. Mubarak since even before he resigned. As you said, his resignation was read out by his deputy and not by himself. He's in Sharm el-Sheikh, the Red Sea resort in Egypt. We did hear from Egypt's ambassador to the U.S., a news report within the U.S., that he may be in poor health. He's 82 years old. He's gone to Germany frequently for health problems before he had his gallbladder removed last year. And this is of course likely to have taken a huge emotional toll and perhaps a physical toll on Mr. Mubarak as well.
Well, Lauren Frayer joining us from Cairo in Egypt. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.